Gravar. Hi everyone, here is Maria and Lindenberg, and we bring you some new knowledges.
Hello, people. I hope that you like this new content.
So I will start to share my screen, and I will show you our data mapper that we created together. It has two functions in formulas. Per function call Apex class map and list utils map method map to list, and we pass one parameter countries. Let's see how it works. Uh, Here is countries that we have, and we have it's like a map. We have key Brazil with some data inside, key United States, key Germany, and our result is array of countries where name of country go to field key, and other fields we keep the same as it was. And another formula that we will use, another function from the same class map and list utils, and take a look that here we put another action and we put three lists, three parameters. We can put here so many parameters as we need. And as you see, name is join list. So let's see what it does. We have three lists of cities, list one, list two, and list three. And our result is array of cities where we join all lists. We can put here in formula so many lists as we need to join. It can be two, it can be five, and Lindenberg will show you how to do that by Apex. Lindenberg,
Okay, I will share my screen. Please stop sharing.
done.
Do you see my screen?
Yes.
So let's talk about the structure of the function formulas. First, we have that on the Salesforce manual. As you see, function here is the name of the class. Here is the name of the method that's you want to use. And here we can have arguments. Here it's one, but we can have many, you know. So let's talk how it works on the class. We cannot simply create an Apex class and use that on the OmniStudio components. The same idea like we have in Flow. We needed to implement a callable class. And as it's an interface, we need to implement the method call. Okay? So in the method call, we receive one parameters, action. And this action, in fact, is the name of the method that's we call here. As you can see, I have a map to list. So if I receive this action, map to list, then I execute one method. To say the truth, I add here a map to list, but this method don't need to have the same name as the method name, but makes sense, you know. But I can call here the name as I want, but to make more sense, especially if you have, for example, the method here, uh, understand what's happening here. Same here. If I pass parameter Jalit, it thinks that I want to execute the method join list and pass the argument from the method. Let's see how it works. As you can see, the return of this method call, it's also always a Boolean. false or true. Well, it's a Boolean. And then you will think, oh my God, and how about the results? I mean, how you get the result from this function, you know? The result of the function, we have this mapping called output that you get from the argument itself, and we pass here as a parameter. The key is result, and the value is the result from our method. So it can be a string, it can be a list, it can be so on, because of here we have a map string object. So on the map to list, I receive the data, process everything with the logic that Maria explained, and then I pass the result here with a key result. Everything is okay. Here it's a little bit more interesting because of, as you can see here, I got an argument. I have a list of arguments. As you can going back, I have a list 1, list 2, list 3. Could be a string, it could be so on. Here I could have, it's an array from S object. So in the middle, I could have a string, I could have a Boolean, and so on this list of the argument. I just need to be careful for don't make mess when I recover the data from Apex class. And here it's a catch. As you can see here, I pass it as parameter a function list. It's a default function from OmniStudio. That can be used on the data mapper like we are doing here. We forgot to say that we can use a function not just on the data mapper transformer that we are using here, but we can do also on data mapper extract, data mapper load, and integration procedure by asset values, and so on. Okay, go back about list. Sometimes it's very common when you have a list with list object with one object, OmniStudio components say, okay, we don't have a list, we have an object. Then when you pass that to an integration procedure, a loop action, a list action, or also on the Apex class, then we can have an error because of the OmniStudio components transform the list in the single item, and then we expect to receive a list, and then mess happen. So it's a good practice when you work with list, always pass the parameter as lists. You know, if we go to our, you can see that list 1 is an array. But if you have just one item, like you can see on list 3, then for some reason that you don't understand why until now, OmniStudio can tell that it's a object. Okay, so if you receive that on another OmniStudio component, you don't need it to worry. Everything will be okay, it will be a list, everything is perfect. But if we receive that from Apex class, we need to have a little bit care about that. If you go to our function, our manual, they say here, if we pass a list function, we will receive as a map with velocity formula list. In fact, we have a map, a string with a list of S object. Something like that. We should recover these lists data exactly like that, getting an item from velocity formula list, as I can have here. do you see? I pass a list of the list going for recover list 1, 2, 3, and so on, getting the velocity formula list and add all the list in just one. That is the purpose of this method. It's very common, for example, if we don't use list and list formula and pass the data, for example, from API, and in case of the single object, we receive an object, and then the guy from the other side of API say that we have an error, and so on. Or we have some exception here in Apex class. Well, you can go back and get the screen, Maria.
Thank you so much. That was pretty detailed. I hope everyone could understand. And I will share my screen and continue with next step that we wanted to show today. Do you see my screen?
Yes, I do.
So we come back to our data mapper, and I want to show you how to call this data mapper by API, by REST API. Every object from Omni Studio can be called as API, data mapper, integration procedure, and it can be called by Workbench, by Postman, or for REST Explorer that I will show now. So I use this extension, Salesforce Inspector, and opened REST Explorer here. And here in REST Explorer, I will call this way. There will be, if you call by Postman on the begin, there will be a name of your org, your domain, services, Apex REST, velocity, CMT, with another clouds like insurance. Here will be velocity ins. It's a namespace from your org. And here I should tell that if you work with new orgs, that's a part of Revenue Cloud, they change a lot the way to call these functions, and you will need to search on documentation because it is another way to call. But here with old org, we call after data raptor, we call name of our data mapper, and it is a post request, and in a body we will need to put an object list. What I put in object list, I will put our input for data mapper. We used it here already. I will get the same example. We'll copy this input and put here in my object list and try to send. And here is my result. As you see, data mapper puts a result in return result data field, and inside it is the same result that we had there on data mapper, our list of cities and our countries with key. And here some more additional system information from data mapper. And basically here is it. If you will call by Workbench, it will be absolutely the same. Or if you call by Postman, the result will be also the same. And if you have a data mapper that has just one input parameter, not a big body JSON like here, you can use get and put here on the text after name of data mapper your parameter. It will be like equation, parameter name, and parameter value. So this is it. That's what we wanted to show you today. I hope you like it. Lindenberg, do you have something to add?
Yes, very soon we will have a video from the channel from my company to show how we deal with how you can call data mapper integration procedure in case of a Revenue Cloud, and I will let you know.
Thank you so much.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.